Hi, this is Jim Cramer, founder of TheStreet.com, with Dan Dicker, our energy expert. This is a story that no one has. Okay, I'm just about to give it to you, and I think it's going to kind of be mind-blowing because you probably haven't thought about it. Talking about Cyprus within the context of a stock that Dan recommended that has taken off, Noble, NBL, and how intertwined Cyprus, Russia, natural gas are. Dan, take it away.
Yeah, well, this is very interesting. A lot of ways to slice this onion, Jim, and we have to go a little slowly on this. We have to understand, first of all, how big Leviathan is. We're talking about at least, and this is the very conservative estimate, 35 trillion cubic feet of reserves inside Leviathan, some of which is in Israeli waters, some of which is in Cypriot waters. Okay. So one of the things that is moving along here is that there is a change in the structure of Eastern Mediterranean natural gas supplies, and that includes Italy, Greece, right. That includes Israel, obviously, and all of this was dependent upon Russian gas fields, which, again, they've been very quick to turn off spigots when they wanted to.
Meaning that Europe wants an independent source of natural gas, meaning that also Turkey is involved too. People don't want to be dependent on Russian natural gas.
The Turks, in fact, are really kind of out of luck in this because it is their pipeline of Russian gas that runs through their country, and in fact, another source that removes the hegemony of Russian gas into Eastern Europe is something that actually hurts the Turks. So one theory that you might look at, looking back at this Cypriot deal, this one-off haircut of the Russian oligarchs, is that the Cypriots now have a bankable amount of petrodollars here that are going to start to come online. In fact, very soon, the first project out of Noble comes online in April of 2013, starts really kind of the cash starts coming out of the ground. And there may be, the EU might have been able to say, you want to know something? In this particular case, we might have been able to say to the Russians, you know, we can afford to give you a haircut because you no longer have that power to perhaps turn off the spigots on natural gas. And it seems like this is all on track.
Okay, so what's happened today? The Wall Street Journal has an article saying, listen, maybe Cyprus is going to be energy self-sufficient. That's not the relevant story. The relevant story is Europe versus Russia.
Eastern Europe, particularly. Okay. Very much particularly Eastern Europe,
so what happened? So your Leviathan, I didn't know that Noble was that close. First of all, what do you do with Noble?
You have to own it. I mean, this is bankable petrodollars. If you measured the amount of money, remember, and Noble's been very shrewd about the way they've handled this. The Israelis, for example, more inside baseball, but the Israelis raised taxes on the fields that Noble was working on, but as a give back to a large degree, they were given the inside track not only to the Israeli fields in Leviathan, but also to the Cypriot fields inside Leviathan.
Okay,
so Noble has got the inside track on this entire...
Okay, but if I'm Russia, why don't I go in and bid for the Noble field off of Cyprus?
Well, you can, but the problem is there are a lot of players that are looking to get into Leviathan right now, and in fact the Russians are way behind the eight ball on this because we have really Western oil companies who want a piece of this.
All right, so let's sum it up. There's a field, maybe the largest field in the world, that is untapped, that is really deeply enmeshed with the whole Cyprus banking issue,
changing the entire geopolitics of Eastern Europe in a lot of ways, and in fact how the Israelis will be seen to the rest of Europe in a lot of ways.
And the way to play it, obviously, if you want to make money off it, is Noble, but to understand that the reason why Europe might be a little more independent of Russia and willing to slam Russia down on Cyprus is they may not have to be worried about the natural gas being cut off.
Exactly. That may be a very, very big piece of why the EU was able to push this across and say it'll be all right. We can really tell the Russians, you know, you're going to have to take one on the chin this time.
Dan Dicker, that is the real story. Thank you so much. Dan Dicker, energy expert, Cramer Street. Stay with us.